The goal for today's live stream is to break 8,000 total viewers. So the most I've ever had has been 7,400, but I think we could beat that today. I think it's the Friday after Thanksgiving, and we're going to crush that number. We're going to go over 8,000. So that's the goal. And of course, the goal, the bigger goal is to break 80,000 subscribers here soon. I'm at 76,500 and change, and I got to go over 80,000. And by the end of the year, so this is, I don't know how I'm going to pull this off, but before January 1st, before the clock strikes midnight on New Year's Eve, I need to have over 100,000 subscribers. So I need everybody's help to do that. Of course, I'm going to do my part and keep posting the best videos that I'm capable of making and try to make more viral shorts. But that's the goal. The goal is 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So we've got about a month to make that happen. 25,000 subscribers in a month. I could pull that off. That's not too difficult. So I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Mine was pretty chill. Just had a little dinner with family and then went back home and worked on another video. There's a humidor review that's going to be posted sometime today. I've already uploaded the video. YouTube is just reviewing it. You know, they got to do the checks and for copyright and community guidelines and all that stuff. So once that's complete, I'll publish the video, but it's already in my YouTube studio. Hello, Leon. Is your name Leon? Hi. Leon retracted his message. He didn't want to say hello. So yeah, that's what we've got cooking. Should be a good live stream today. I don't know. I don't know. I've never done a live stream on a Friday morning, I don't think. Today's a little bit exceptional, unusual. Normally I do these on Saturday mornings, but we'll see. It's a holiday. So, you know what though? The majority of my audience is not US based. And for the rest of the world, I don't know if today is a holiday. I mean, I know in the Middle East, today is a weekend. Like if you're in the UAE, Friday is the first day of the weekend. Weekend over there is Friday, Saturday, last I checked. When I was young and I was living in Dubai, that's where I grew up, the weekend was Thursday, Friday. And I think at some point they changed it to Friday, Saturday. Speaking of Dubai, I'm going to be visiting in a couple months. It's been a long time. I miss the hell out of it, miss my friends. So I'm going to be there in a couple of months. I intend on making loads of content over there. Cigar lounges, sky high infinity pools, scuba diving at the mall, all the good stuff, all the crazy stuff that you've seen about Dubai online. It's all real and it's much more captivating in person. So now I'm going to go and try to document as much of it as possible for Manstuff videos. That going to be a lot of work, but I think it'll be a good time too. We're actually going to start out. It's going to be a multi-city trip over 2 weeks. I'm going to start out in Washington, D.C. I'm going to go do a tour of the Pentagon. Then I'm going to go to Paris, be there. I'm only going to be in Paris for a day. I really don't want to go to Paris, but I got outvoted on that one. So I'm going to be there for just one day. And then the next day, I'm going to hop on a train to Amsterdam, spend a little bit of time there. Maybe I'll have time for Belgium as well. And then from there, we're going to shoot on over to Dubai. And I'm going to be there for a full week because I need some time there. You know, I've got a lot of friends there and a lot of things I want to do and miss. So, hey. Mochi Cutie, yes, hello. Those guns are real. I live in Texas, so yes, we have real guns in Texas. Are those guns for self? They look expensive as fuck. They are. So I did a video not long ago. You can find it on my channel, on the Manstuff channel. It's called My $100,000 Wall. I added up the cost of everything I had on this wall, and it was a little over $100,000. But, you know, that's not just guns. That includes these two Rollies, which are, you know, that's like 40K right there. But then everything else that's on the wall, yeah, they're pricey, especially my 1911s. These are my most expensive guns. So right here, you're looking at $4,500 retail for the Wilson X-Tac Elite. The Wilson Classic is also somewhere around 4,500 bucks. That's a Wilson ACP. The STI DVC Limited, hard for me to price. I don't know because STI is not around anymore. So that's a discontinued brand. But if I was going to sell that gun right now, I don't think I would sell it for anything under 4,000. It's an incredible piece. 20. You know what? I need to do a video review of the DVC Limited. So that's what I'm going to do. It's just a phenomenal pistol. I'd love to pick it up and go through some of the finer points of it right now, but I'm not allowed to touch firearms during the live stream. It will get pulled. YouTube, I guess they have like an AI detector or something, and if you touch a gun or if it thinks that you're touching a gun, it'll pull the video. One time during a live stream, we were crushing. We were going to set a new record for most viewers during a live stream. And I pointed at a gun, and I guess the AI thought I had grabbed it, so they just pulled the live stream. They canceled it. It was unfortunate, but it is what it is. Those are the rules. Gun permit including, you don't need a gun permit in Texas. If you're a law-abiding citizen, you can just go buy firearms and carry firearms. You don't need a permit. I think in some states, like I believe in Washington you do, in California, I don't know, they got all sorts of gun laws. It's very state specific, which is why I always say that the Second Amendment has been removed from the Constitution. People just don't see it that way, because if it's subject to state law, it's no longer a constitutional right. Let me see, I'm missing a bunch of comments here. Guys, I always do my best to get to respond to all the comments. If I miss it, you can type it again, or you can leave a super chat so your comment stands out. I do have some Glocks. I'm down to only 3. That's a Glock 48, a Glock 19X, and a Glock 17. Now, if you had been on one of my live streams, excuse me, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, I had 9 Glocks over there. I just sold 6 of them because I'm like, what am I doing with all these Glocks? I had 4 Glock 19Xs, I had 3 Glock 17s, I had 2 Glock 48s, and I reduced my inventory to one of each of those models. The next Glock I'm going to get is probably going to be a Glock 40. I want a 10 millimeter, so I think I'm going to get a Glock 40. There's a company that I've done a couple of reviews for. Their products have been fantastic. They're called CV Life. They sent me the scope. Where is it? Right there. I put on my Daniel Defense, that scope, the Bearmite. Video is available on the channel if you want to watch that review. And the CV Life on that Glock, which I have covered, and I can't take the cover off right now because the live stream will get canceled. Anyway, they've sent me 2 optics. They've been great. They offered to send me another optic for another video review. So I think I'm going to get something else. And maybe I'll get another pistol optic and buy a Glock 40, which is a 10 millimeter caliber. 40 is the model, not the caliber, because that's a really unique round. It's a very interesting round. I might do that. Is that a 22 on top, or is it a 6.5 Creedmoor? I have a 22 and I have a 6.5 Creedmoor. Summer, I don't have a Desert Eagle, no. So this is a Ruger 1022. It's got some pretty cool engraving. I'll try to, there you go, if you can see that. So that's a Ruger 1022. 6.5 Creedmoor is over here. So recently I purchased a 308, a 6.5 Creedmoor, and a 300 Win Mag. That's these 3 rifles right here. They're all Benelli. The 308 is a semi-auto. That's the Benelli R1. The camouflage are bolt action. Those are the Benelli Lupo Best. Haven't shot them yet. The 308 I've barely shot. I only used it to blow up some Tannerite a couple of times. So I need to get some range time with those rifles and improve my long distance shooting, because I'm mostly a close to mid-range shooter. I do a lot of pistols, I do a little bit of ARs, but I rarely shoot out beyond 100 yards. And I'd like to improve my long distance game. So I'd like to start practicing in the 300 yard and beyond range. And I have the rifles to do it. Just need to have the time. The biggest things where I see gun shops, the biggest ammo mag to have a lot bullets to carry. You got ammo magazines. Well, yeah, so I'm not big on loading magazines at the range. I like to load as many rounds as possible before I go shooting. So like for ARs, for instance, I keep at least 400 rounds loaded at all times. And usually, I rarely shoot more than 400 rounds of AR in a range session. That's a pretty good training session. 400 rounds is quite a bit. So typically, I don't have to reload my ARs at the range. If I do want to reload, like if I'm doing some crazy video where I'm going to try to puncture a steel plate and I'm going to shoot it 1,000 times, which I have done, then I'll take this thing with me. This is the Potovac. This is a speed loader for AR mags. I love this thing. Ever since I started using it, I never load a mag by hand anymore. You put your rounds in this track. You put the magazine right there, and then with this pusher, you can just push the rounds into the magazine all at once. It's really handy. I take this with me to the range if I think I'm going to be loading mags at the range. I also, for pistols, don't load by hand either. I use one of these things, the Uplulas by Maglula. For pistols, I mean, once you start using these things, you will never load a magazine by hand again. They're just great. They save your thumbs and they make things faster, smoother, easier. You got to keep one of these in your range bag. It's a huge, huge plus. So I think they're in my Amazon shop. I'm not sure, but there's a link in the description to my Amazon store. You might find them there. I don't know for sure if they're in there. I can't remember, but they're easy to find. It's called the Maglula. You can find it. King Bob, what is my favorite? It's hard to pick a favorite. You know, it depends on what category we're talking, right? Like 1911's Wilson Combat is hard to beat. 2011's the STI DVC Limited is incredible. These Daniel Defense Pros, I mean, I love Daniel Defense. So if we're talking AR-15s, these Pros are just fantastic. If we're talking luxury watches, that Rose Gold Yachtmaster, oh, I love this thing. This is actually what got me to start buying Rollies. I never thought about buying a gold watch until I saw this one with the rose gold. Thought it's just absolutely gorgeous. The chocolate dial and the rose gold. And yeah, so I had to have this one as soon as I saw it. So it just depends on what we're talking about. If we're talking semi-automatic shotguns, I'm a Benelli guy all the way. These are 4 Benelli shotguns. Again, I had 6 up until a couple weeks ago. I sold a couple of them. And on the far end, there's a Beretta Silver Pigeon over-under. Beretta makes amazing over-unders. They make really good semi-automatics as well. But when it comes to semi-automatic shotguns, I'm very partial to Benelli. It's like just the only semi-automatic shotguns I buy are Benelli. Maybe that'll change someday. There'll be another brand that'll impress the hell out of me. We'll see. Just right now, I'm all Benelli when it comes to semi-autos. No block clocks. I don't know what that means. You are a licensed CPL holder. What is a CPL? Concealed concealed permit license? What is a CPL? I don't know. Green screen? No, it's not a green screen. It's funny, you know, you're not the first person to ask if this is a green screen. And last time I had to prove that it's not a green screen by grabbing things off it. I can't grab guns, but like I got these $2 bill stacks here, just brand new $2 bills, just because I think they're cool. So there you go. It's I got a couple of them. It's not a green screen. This is all the real stuff. The panels, by the way, if you're wondering, if you have a wall and you want to you want this kind of setup, check out Hold Up Displays. They're not a sponsor. They probably don't even know who I am, or maybe they've seen my videos. I don't know. But Hold Up Display is where you buy the panels, you buy the mounts, the hooks. I don't know what they're called. These things, so you can put your pistols on them. So you can get all this from Hold Up Display. And they make a great product. These panels are solid. They're easy to mount. They come with self-drilling screws. It's a good company. They make a really great product. Concealed. Hold up a minute. Let me put some pimping in it. That's a good rhyme. Can you do a 223 review? You mean rifles or just a review of the round? Yeah, I could review some rifles. Actually, I've been wanting to do a review comparing a regular Daniel Defense, which I have right there, to the Daniel Defense Pro models, which come with an 18-inch barrel as opposed to a 16, a Geisley Match 2 trigger, which is incredible. That trigger is so sensitive, if you shoot it from a bench rest, you induce malfunctions, or you could set off another round. The vibrations actually sometimes will set off another round, so you can only you can't shoot at bench rest. That's how sensitive that Geisley Match 2 trigger is. And it comes with a aftermarket compensator as well. Those rifles are amazing. Those Daniel Defense Pros are just incredible, which is why I have 3 of them. 223, let me see. Do you have 1911? Yeah, I've got a few 1911s. Do I sell suppressors? No, I do not sell suppressors. I do not sell anything gun related on this channel. These are my 1911s right there. Wilson Combat ACP, Wilson Combat Classic, Wilson Combat X-Tech Elite. And below them, you're looking at a 2011 STI DVC Limited, that one with the golden barrel, and then a Staccato P right there. So a few 1911s, couple of 2011s. I think probably the next thing I'll buy in the pistol category will be a 2011 by Nighthawk. I'm interested in those. I want to try those out. So that'll probably be the next pistol I purchase. And then an AR-10 is the next rifle I'm going to get. I just haven't decided which one yet. I've been doing a little bit of research. I'm in between Wilson Combat. The Scars is interesting. The Scar 17 is interesting, but I don't like the proprietary Mac thing. Yeah, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Lindsay Davis, hello. We got some people talking trash about Cali in the comments. People, please be nice. You can say that Cali has awful gun laws. That's fine, but let's let's not be rude. What do you think the best carry pistol is? It really depends on how big you are, how you dress, your tolerance for the size of the pistol, how big your hands are, how well you shoot it. It's a number of things that factor into that. For me, I started out carrying a SIG P228, and then I learned that double action is stupid and I'll never get another double action pistol, so I sold that. It was also just a very bulky gun. And then I got a Glock 19, carried that for a few years, and then the Glock 48 came out, and it was even thinner and easier to conceal than the Glock 19, so I started carrying a Glock 48. This thing right here with that Sealy green dot, right there. It's a small, thin gun. It's comfortable. Sometimes I forget I even have it on. It's just, you know, there's always there's that trade-off between shooting performance, which you're gonna get the best performance with the biggest guns. That's why competition guns are so big, versus carrying comfort. And if you can find a happy medium, you're not gonna maximize either one. You know, you're not gonna find a high performance gun that you can conceal carry comfortably. But if you can find a happy medium, then that's what you want to go with. Check out the Glock 48. SIG has some pretty impressive options, I will say, when it comes to concealed carrying, like the Spectre. I think it's the 365 Spectre. Tiny little thing, holds 17 rounds. Looks impressive. I've never used it, so I'm not recommending it, but I would just suggest that you check it out for yourself and see if you like it. What gun would I least want to drop on my foot? I don't know. The biggest, heaviest gun is what I would least want to drop on my foot. Let's see. Whoa, a lot of comments. Let me try to keep up here. Do I have an AK? Amanda asked if I have an AK. I don't have an AK. That's, you know, every time I do a live stream, I feel compelled to go buy an AK, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go buy one because people keep asking if I have AKs, and no, I haven't bought one yet. I haven't gotten myself to do it. I've never been an AK guy, even though I'm Middle Eastern. I'm supposed to like AKs, but I've always liked ARs. I mean, I've shot all kinds of battle rifles, the Steyr AUG, the Tavor. Um, I shot a Scar. I've shot a bunch of stuff, and ARs just always have worked well for me. I like the way they look. I like the controls. I think they're very easy to deal with. I've been an AR-15 guy from day one. Somebody's asking, how many guns do I have? I don't know. I've never counted how many are on this wall. You could probably get a count while I'm doing the live stream, and then, you know, there's some that are not on the wall that are, you know, in safes and here and there. But I can tell you that I recently reduced my inventory by 12. I just sold a dozen guns, and there's 3 or 4 more I'm looking to get rid of. Just trying to find a buyer. They're high end. It's harder to find a buyer for them. So, you know, we'll see. I just, you know, I was looking through my inventory, and I had about 15 guns that I don't even remember the last time I shot them, or they were just redundant. Like I had 4 Glock 19Xs, and I thought, okay, let me just get rid of 3 of them, and I'll just keep one. So I've been reducing my inventory. At a certain point, you just have, you know, for me, I don't like collecting things. I don't like having things that I have no use for. So when there's an excess of stuff that I'm just not using, I'd rather just get my money back and go buy something else. Like I just bought a supercar. I just got a Corvette Z06, and I've been having a blast with that thing. I hit 141 miles per hour in it yesterday. Let's see. Somebody's got a Mosin Nagant. Jesse James got a Mosin Nagant. Cheers. Those are historic. Those are you know, classic. Do I have a Canik? I do not have a Canik. Somebody is tempted to go to Texas. My shop looks awesome. This is not a shop. This is my office. This is my live stream room. I do not own a gun shop, but thanks. It's flattering that somebody thinks I have a gun store. No, but yeah, but there are awesome gun shops in Texas. If that's what you meant, maybe I misunderstood your comment. But yeah, there's actually one in Lubbock called Sharpshooters. I did a video review. It's on the channel. You can watch it. It's probably the best gun shop in West Texas. I mean, their inventory is insane, and it's not just guns. It's accessories, knives, scopes, thermals, suppressors. I mean, they have it all. It's insane. It's an amazing shop. They had a old Colt revolver, like 100-year-old Colt revolver with sequential serial number. I forget what the serial number was. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or something. Pretty cool. I mean, they always have amazing stuff in there. It looks like a shop. Thanks. That makes me happy. Let's see. Firearms can be a good investment, though. They sure can. Yeah, they can be. The trick with firearms is the same trick with the difficulty in purchasing firearms as an investment is the same thing with gold, for example. It's liquidation. How do you get your money back? Where do you find a buyer? Unless you're tapped into a big gun community and you can contact people and find people to buy your stuff, whether it's guns or gold, you're gonna have to go to a dealer. And if you go to a dealer, you're not gonna get what the stuff is worth. You're gonna lose a bunch of money. If you consign your jewelry or your firearms, you're going to lose a consignment fee to the store. So that's the trick is like, yeah, you could buy a gun, but depending on what state you're in, you add the sales tax to the price of the gun. So you're already in the hole. And then how long do you have to wait? How much does that gun have to appreciate before you can sell it minus 20% commission to the store, let's say, if you consign it and get your money? So like you have to go up 30% in value just to get your money back. That's the trick. Now, if you have, like I said, if you're tapped into a big community of whatever it is, luxury goods, and you can find buyers and do a private sale, well, then, and also is a private sale legal in your state? Some states you just can't do a private sale, period. Some states you can. That's the difficulty about getting guns as an investment is like how do you offload them and get your money back? Oh boy, what in the Rambo's going on here? What's up? Just doing a live stream. I guess this must be your first time on the channel, Man Stuff. Yes, these are my t-shirts and you can purchase them through a link in the description. From my website, jamilbarbar.com. I ship well, within the United States. I don't ship worldwide yet. I'm working on that. Maybe I'll get around to figuring out how to do that over the holidays. It's just my schedules are just nuts. So show me Sniper, please. Don't ignore me. I have never seen it in my life. Sniper, I mean, I guess you're talking bolt action. Here's some bolt actions. Here's some. They don't have any scopes. I just bought them. Haven't shot them yet. The 308 does have a scope, but I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there you go. There's the scope. And here's my bow, Hoyt Hyperforce. But I can't do any better than that. I can't pick up the rifles during a live stream. YouTube rules. So, do I have shirts that say women stuff? I don't. I should get a shirt that says genderless stuff. No, but the name of the channel is Man Stuff. So, that's a funny idea though. Maybe I could. I don't know. I guess we'll see if the brand grows. That's not a bad idea. I could do a woman stuff shirt just for the ladies. That would work. I want to try one though. My parents don't want me to, but for real, that was so cool. Your parents don't want you to shoot guns? Your parents might be what we call in America. No, I'm not gonna say it. Yeah, maybe your parents have a maybe they come from a war-torn country where their only exposure to guns is that these are things that killed their families and caused chaos in their home. So I understand that point of view because I'm from Lebanon, and there's people who have that view on guns, where like a gun is just a tool for evil. But if you grow up in a place like America, where certain parts of the states where hunting is just part of the culture and self-defense is part of the culture, and you grow up in a gun-owning family and you're taught proper gun handling at a young age, then there's just a different view on what guns do and what they're for. And so, yeah, I get it. I mean, for the longest time, my parents didn't like the fact that I had guns. And like my dad fought in the war. And so, but his idea of guns is just, something that was used for combat, and so that's why he doesn't like them. He doesn't get the fun side of it that I grew up with here in the States. The best concealed carry is whatever you can carry comfortably and shoot effectively. For me, that is a Glock 48X, is what I've been carrying most of the time for several years now. Sometimes I carry a full-size 1911. Sometimes I'll carry this Wilson X-Tac Elite. And I always have a little bit of concern, I gotta say. It's like, do a little, I always think like, man, if I have to use that gun for self-defense and it gets taken into evidence, oh my goodness, that's a $4,500 pistol that the police are going to take and throw in a locker somewhere, and it's going to get scratched. I'm going to be upset. But hey, if it saves my life, then it's worth it. Your background is badass. Thank you, Miller Moore. I appreciate that. Lebanon used to be a good Christian country. Yeah, it was. Not anymore, unfortunately. It's still ostensibly a Christian country. Good is, it's a mess over there. That's a discussion for another video. Hopefully, I haven't been to Lebanon in quite a while, many years, and I'd like to go visit next year. So we'll see. Maybe I'll make that happen. For sure, I'm going to Dubai. That's done. That's in a couple of months. I'm going to be in Dubai. I missed the hell out of it, so I'm looking forward to that. And I'll do some live streams there from rooftops in front of Burj Khalifa and that whole thing. We're getting an Airbnb like on the 51st floor, I think, in Business Bay, Dubai. It's gonna be cool. It'll be a fun trip. See you in Dubai. What's up, man? I guess you live there. Rambunctious mind. Yeah, well, I haven't been there in forever, and I grew up there. I was born there, so I want to go visit home. I have several homes. Like Lebanon is home, Dubai is home, Texas is home. I feel like when people say where's home, I'm like, depends on what stage of my life we're talking about. Let's see. What is the gun second down from the ceiling just behind me? This one? That is a Daniel Defense Pro M4 V7. Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah. So these three here are Daniel Defense Pros. We've got gray, silver, and black. They're all Daniel Defense Pros. Two of them I've never shot. I've only ever shot this one, the gray one. I've won some competitions with it. But the other two, I got them just because I think the Daniel Defense Pro is an incredible rifle, and I wanted 3 different colors. So that's what that is. Do I have an AK-47? I do not. Why do I have fake money on the wall? Because I'm so poor. I have to pretend that I have $200 or actually $400 on the wall. I don't have $400, so I have to just get fake money and pretend that I'm not poor. So yeah, these are brand new $2 bills from the mint. I never opened them because I think they're just fun to have. It's a nice accessory for my wall. So yeah, just this one is actually coming undone, but I don't want to open it. I like them like that. So I'm just gonna keep it. It's funny how like people talk trash about, they see somebody with any kind of luxury item and they start calling that person poor. Like I did a live stream a couple weeks ago in my supercar. I just bought a supercar. I got a Corvette Z06, and people were commenting, "Oh, this guy must be poor. Rich people don't buy supercars." And I'm thinking, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Rich people buy regular cars and poor people buy supercars. It's like, where's the logic? I mean, bloody hell. If rich people don't buy expensive things, then who buys them? Poor people? Like, really? That's your logic? If you're watching right now, give this video a like. We've got 202 live viewers and only 35 likes. Come on, guys, let's get this up to 100 likes. No, but we had a Thompson rifle. Thompson rifles are cool. I must have missed part of the discussion. Somebody mentioned something about a Thompson rifle, and yeah, those are fun, especially in fully auto. When I worked at the gun store years ago, there was a guy that came in. He bought 2 of them fully auto. He dropped about 130, 135K, I think, on that purchase for 2 Tommy guns. That was really something. Thank you for those that are clicking like. I see the likes going up. I appreciate that. Do I have a Glock 18? I don't know what a Glock 18 is. That must be a new model that I have not come across. So no, I don't have a Glock 18. I have a 19X, I have a 17, I have a 48, and I want to get a Glock 40. That's going to be my next Glock. I gotta find. I want one MOS, of course. Red dot, the whole thing. So Glock 40 will be. I'm just interested in that 10 millimeter caliber. We'll see how it does for me. Are those toy guns back there? If yes, I really want to buy one of those. Can I have one under 30? What is that currency? Euros? Is that a E for no? So no, I do not sell anything during my live streams. That's on my wall. Definitely don't sell firearms through my channel. And these are all real guns. So no, sorry, can't sell you them. 30 pounds. Isn't pounds and euros the same thing? Is that not? I'm euro ignorant. So is that? I thought all of Europe used the same currency, don't they? I'm going to be in Europe in a couple months, so I should figure this out. Do I have an elephant gun? Let me think. Ah, my goodness, I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of it right now. Damn, what's the caliber of the elephant gun? Somebody help me out in the comments. I forget. I know what you're talking about. It's not coming to me right now. So no, I don't have an elephant gun. Pounds are more than euros. Interesting. Okay, well, I'm not going to go to England, so I guess I don't need pounds. I'll just get euros. Is that a TTI handgun? No, I don't have a TTI. This is, you're probably referring to one of these behind me, I'm guessing. Maybe this one or that one. So this is an STI, the silver one with the gold barrel, STI DVC Limited. And next to it over here is the Staccato P. Above it are 3 Wilson Combat 1911s. And this one, this middle one here, is the Wilson Experior. So no, I don't have any Taran Tactical pistols. Yeah, the STI. Elephant is class, not caliber. Well, then I guess I don't know what I'm talking about. I thought there was a specific rifle that is known as the elephant gun. I guess I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to that one. I thought I did. Yeah, STI, pretty awesome guns. You know, the one pistol that I still think about to this day that bothers me, I was not able to buy it at the time, even though I was working at a gun store. I sold a couple of them, but I was too broke to buy one, is the STI Hextac Elite, I think it was called. They made one with like an olive green and beige kind of color. And my God, that pistol still haunts me to this day. It sucks that I'm like, I was selling them and I couldn't buy them. I just didn't have the money. It's so annoying. If I find one nowadays, I mean, I'd snatch it up so fast. But typically, I mean, those are really hard to find, especially that STI is not around anymore. Those would be really tough to find. Yeah, hey, so be it. Also, there was actually an old 45 caliber Smith & Wesson revolver that came through the store one time and went out right from under my hands, and couldn't buy that one either. You have an STI Guardian, good gun. Yeah, I mean, STI made great guns, and then, they became Staccato. Staccato was doing great for a while. In the past year and a half or so, I've been hearing mixed opinions about Staccato. I guess their quality control isn't all that it used to be. I hope that's not true, but I have been cautioned when it comes to buying a new Staccato by people whose opinions I trust. So I don't know. Hopefully they're not slipping, because those are great guns. How much for the M4? Which M4 are you talking about? So if you want pricing, I'm not selling these guns, but if you want pricing, this here is a Geissele Super Duty. These are, I believe, around 1900, maybe 2000. The one in the middle is a Daniel Defense. Those are also probably in that same price range. Up top with that suppressor, that's a 22, Smith & Wesson 1522. I don't know how much those go for. The 22s are of course cheaper, maybe, I don't know, $500 or something. I don't know. The Daniel Defense Pros, those are these three here. Those are, I want to say, in the $2,300 range. And then that Springfield Saint, I don't know how much the Springfield Saint, I don't know what the retail is, what the market value is. I have no idea. If I had to guess, just like first number that came to mind, 1,600. I'm guessing. I don't, could be wrong. Geissele the GOAT, yeah. Geissele is amazing. Anti-furry, you are living my dream, brother. Hey, make it happen, man. I don't know what your situation is, but make it happen. 10 years ago, I couldn't afford any of this stuff, and here we are. Oh, the Saint's only 1,300. Well, there you go. Wow, that's I thought it'd be more than that. That's actually a pretty good price because it's an amazing rifle. Especially it comes with a Timney trigger, really good trigger. I'm a big fan of that gun. It's the only Springfield I have. I'm not a huge Springfield guy, especially their striker fired pistols. Those are just I'm not an XDM XDS guy, but that Springfield Saint, top notch. Um, you I've heard about some gun named Chris Vector or something like that. Has no recoil. Is that true? I've never shot a Chris Vector, and actually I don't know anything about it. I've seen pictures. Like I know what you're talking about, but I don't know anything else about it. James Arnold, cheers, brother. Thank you. What's my favorite gun? Again, that's a tough question because are we talking rifles, pistols, shotguns? You know, all different guns do different things. I love a good 1911, so Wilson Combat 1911 is usually the first thing that comes to mind when I'm asked that question. If we're talking AR-15s or just rifles, tactical rifles, I'm an AR-15 guy and I love Daniel Defense. Semi-automatic shotguns, Benelli's the GOAT. This guy is the last person who should be owning guns. Apparently, Philip does not think I should be owning guns for whatever reason. I don't know what Philip knows about me, but he doesn't think I should be owning guns. Well, hey, he's entitled to his opinion. That's fine. Any Kalashnikov? No, no, I don't have any Kalashnikovs, no AKs, nothing like that. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. I don't know. I would have to shoot one that I enjoy as much as I enjoy ARs, and then I would say, all right, I'm buying this AK. Or the channel gets big enough, and then I buy one just to do a video comparing AK to AR or something like that. When we get to 100,000 subscribers, which we're close to 100,000 subscribers. Man Stuff is on the move. Then maybe that'll be my 100K subscriber um, reward. I don't know. I'll go get myself an AK, I guess, just to make a video with it. Sometimes I do buy guns just to make content, not often. And some of those guns I've actually sold. There's a couple of them, and I just didn't want to keep them. You have an SKS, but the stock is really short. Yeah, I've never shot an SKS, but yeah. So a couple of stats for the people tuning in right now. By the way, if you're watching, if you don't mind, click the like, the thumbs up. Give this video a like. Help it out. Help it grow. Help the channel grow. Some of the things I'm trying to accomplish today with this live stream is break 8,000 live viewers, and I think we're on our way to do that. The biggest live stream I've had until now had 74,000 7,400 live views. I think we could beat that. I think we could do 8,000 today, easy peasy, no problem. So I'm gonna beat 8,000, and then the channel is gonna grow to over 80,000 subscribers real soon. Like I think by the end of the week, I'm gonna hit 80,000 subs, which then gives me the month of December to find another 20,000 subscribers and get the channel to the 100K point where I get that silver plate from YouTube, and just to feel like a legitimate YouTuber with 100,000 subscribers. Because years ago I started my podcast and that one sucked. It's been I had some good episodes. I had a lot of bad episodes. I'm gonna relaunch it soon. It's on a separate channel. It's on the Jamil Barbar channel. I've also got my former, I used to cage fight and do jiu-jitsu. I've got those clips on that channel as well. So, but that one was a struggle. It was like 4 or 5 years of trying to grow that channel, and it barely has 1,000 subscribers. Frankly, the show just was not that good. That's why I'm gonna start it up again soon and do a better job with it this time. But this channel I've only been doing for a little bit over a year, and I think I can crack 100,000 subscribers in a year and a half, which is massive for any YouTuber. Any YouTuber will tell you 100,000 subscribers in a year and a half is a really big deal. So that's what I'm aiming for. That's why I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the comments. Appreciate y'all tuning in. That helps the channel grow. I never shot a gun, but when was war? I used to play with live. You've never shot a gun, but used to play with grenades. Yo, I don't know what to say to that. I hope you're okay. I've never handled a grenade actually. I would like to. I think that'd be fun. Maybe on my next trip to Lebanon. I don't know if I can get grenades in the U.S. I think I can. I know some guys that. Um, I think there's a way. I don't know if I have to have an FFL or some kind of security clearance. I don't know, but maybe that's something I'll look into. Um, let's see. Let me try to catch up on some of the comments that I missed a little bit ago. Any collection of guns without AK is poor collection. You know, the AK AR debate is like the Ferrari Lambo debate. It's just, it is what it is. You know, some people love them, some people don't love them. Um, you do you. If AKs make you happy, get AKs. All right. I guess I didn't miss a whole lot. Can you take one off the wall and show us? I cannot take guns off the wall because I cannot touch guns during live streams, but I got a couple knives over here. I can grab a knife. This is my paintball helmet. I can grab my helmet. I can get this knife. This is the Mini Adamas by Benchmade. That's a nice, really nice knife. I carry it most of the time. Benchmade makes incredible knives. So there you go. In case you're wondering, because some people seem to think that this is a green screen behind me. This is like, you know, CGI or something. So no, it's all real stuff. I've got my Anderson Silva action figure over here. I was a big Anderson Silva fan back in the day, and unfortunately, you know, I don't know what he's doing now. Is he still fighting? I don't know. But Anderson Silva is the man. Too bad he didn't go out on top. You know, I wish he would have retired on top like some of these other guys, but he just kept fighting, and then he got old, and then he started losing, and so people don't recognize his legacy, I think, as much as they should. But I'm still a big Anderson Silva fan. I was in Lebanon in 2019, and the soldiers at the checkpoint had AKs, I think. So I haven't been in Lebanon in a while, but yeah, they carry M16s from what I remember mostly. They also carry, what's that little, gosh, I used to use it when I played Counter-Strike back in the day. What is it called? Dang it, MP. Ah, I can't think of it right now. But yeah, so they carry M16s. They probably do carry AKs as well. There's like there's a little, I don't know, probably like 3 or 4 different rifles that the soldiers carry over there. Rolex, yeah, I've got 2 Rolexes. There's a Sea Dweller and a Yachtmaster. Rose gold Yachtmaster right there, and a Sea Dweller. Boom, right there. Yeah, lovely watches. I think I'm gonna get another one sometime soon. Maybe during my Dubai trip. Maybe I'll buy one in Dubai. I want one with the Arabic numbers. The Rolexes with the Arabic dial. Those interest me. What are my thoughts on AR pistols? I think they're really fun. I have one right here, Springfield Saint pistol. Love that thing. However, I will say I only shoot it suppressed. Unsuppressed, man, that thing is concussive. It's loud. It spits back at you. Like maybe it's the muzzle brake I have on for the suppressor, but last time it was like it was peppering my forearm. But suppressed, it's great. This is the suppressor I use for it. Where's my suppressor? Ah, it's on my Geisley right now, so I can't grab it. But that's the hybrid 46M hybrid by Silencer Co. I use that one on my Geisley, and I use it also on my Springfield Saint pistol. And suppressed, it's a lot of fun. I love that gun. But yeah, I think AR pistols are cool. They're also really nice for close quarters work. You know, if you're turning the corner, if you're in a hallway or something like that, you don't have that long barrel sticking out. So it's helpful in that way. They are louder, so shooting them indoors, you got to take that into consideration, man. You might blow your eardrums out. You want really good hearing protection, or a suppressor and some hearing protection. Do I have a Taurus? No, I do not have a Taurus. Why on earth would I have a Taurus? Um, not to be rude, but yeah, not Taurus is not quality stuff, and I only buy quality stuff. You just got a Mini 14 in beautiful condition, and I'm not a fan. Should I keep it or try to trade for something different? If you're not a fan, get rid of it. You know, it's like why stay in a relationship that you don't enjoy? So I don't like Mini 14s. I've shot them. I rather have an AR. I mean, essentially, it does the same thing as an AR, just a different platform. So go trade it or try to. You know, thing is, if you go to a gun shop to trade it, you're gonna lose a lot of money. But if you know somebody that wants one, make sure you go through the legal ways of getting that rifle transition from your ownership to theirs. But then you'll get a little bit more money that way. Then you can go buy whatever you want. Weird your government didn't force you to ship them to Israel. uh, no comment. They got plenty of guns in Israel. They don't need mine. I don't have a Desert Eagle. And let me see, what are my thoughts on PSA Dagger? What the hell is a PSA Dagger? The 1022, I'd like to see the engraving, please. You got it. Let's do that. The engraving on the 1022. I bought this thing about 8 years ago. It's just been hanging there the whole time. Is that visible enough? I hope it is. There you go. It's really nice. I love the engraving on that rifle. I guess that's, I don't know, looks like a tiger or a lion or something. I'm not really sure what it is. But I hope that satisfied your curiosity. Is all those real or fake? They are all real. Everything here is real, including these suppressors. Here's a 30 caliber suppressor. That's going to go on these rifles here, the bolt actions, the 6.5 Creedmoor, and the 300 Win Mag. So yeah, it's all real. Whenever people ask if the guns are real or fake, I just assume they're not in America and for sure not in Texas. That's just my assumption. Do I have a Glock 19? No Glock 19. I do have a 19X. The Glock 19X I really like. I'm interested. How much and how can I get it? Go to a gun store and they can order one for you and let you know how much it is. What do you think about a Colt Government 380 Mustang? Just got one and it's staying in my permanent collection. Nope. I don't. Excuse me. I don't have an opinion on that one. 380 is an interesting round. It's like, I mean, I know people underestimate bullets, but 380. If I'm carrying for self-defense, I don't know that I'd go below a 9mm. So, I mean, if you like the gun and you feel good about it, then keep it. I've never shot one, so I don't know that I've ever shot any Colt for that matter. So I don't really have an opinion there. For everybody that's watching right now, if you would give this live stream a like, that would be awesome. What's the range on those bolt actions? It depends on how good of a shooter you are. So, I mean, it's a 6.5 Creedmoor and a 300 Win Mag. You can get quite a bit of range. A good shooter can get quite a bit of range. I'm not a long distance shooter. It's something I'm going to get into here soon and hopefully become really good at over the next year or so. But it's not a skill that not something I'm very good at yet. So it's something I got to work on. Having guns is legal in USA. Wow, yeah, of course. It is, however, depending on what state you live in, some guns may be legal and some guns may be illegal. So you got to be careful with state laws. But I'm in Texas, so really you could buy just about anything over here. I don't know. I don't know that there's a gun that you are not allowed to buy if you live in Texas. With the right, some things you need, like I don't know, you might need to get some kind of like class 3 items or whatever. But yeah, you could buy all sorts of things. What's your thoughts on 10mm 1911? I'm thinking about getting one. I've heard good things. So I've been interested in 10mm for a while. That's why I want to get a Glock 40. But the 1911s, if you're asking like in terms of reliability, I mean, I love a good 1911. All my 1911s are 45. In 10mm, do they work well? I don't know. You'd probably want to look at some online posts. Maybe there's, I don't know, maybe there's a thread on one of these websites like Reddit or whatever, and you can see what people are saying about them, just in terms of reliability. But I would imagine that a 10mm 1911 would be a nice gun. One day the guns won't work the same as the atmosphere changes. What? Okay. Um, can I send guns to Greece? No, I cannot. Having guns is legal in Canada too. Some types, like an AR, are prohibited though. I thought they banned pistols in Canada earlier this year or last year, or maybe they banned the transfer of pistols. So like you're just stuck with whatever you have forever. There was something about that, right? I don't know. I don't keep up too much with Canadian politics, so I don't know. But I saw a news headline. What kind of compensator to go on a 509 TFN? I have no idea. Sorry, can't help you out there. How you feel about the Taurus? Just, I mean, I don't know that particular model, but in general, Taurus is not a brand that's known for good performance or reliability. So in general, I'm not, I wouldn't recommend a Taurus. I definitely do not supply the cartels with arms. They don't need my arms. They have they have plenty. My voice is too low. Please fix this. Should I talk a little bit louder? You know what? I've been actually messing around with the settings on my microphone because even though I'm using the DJI mics, which are the best in the game right now, I was having a lot of noise, a lot of voice distortion in my videos. So I've been playing around with the settings a little bit, trying to find that fine balance. And I guess I went from a little bit too high to a little bit too low. So I gotta maybe dial it back a little bit. Thanks for letting me know. I'll watch this afterwards and see how I sound, and then I can adjust those settings a little bit and hopefully get it just right. The sooner the better. Would I recommend a silencer for a 762 by 39? I think so. I think I started using suppressors about, I don't know, like a year and a half ago, and I'm a big fan. They just make shooting more enjoyable. So yeah, for sure, put a suppressor on that thing. Caliber specific, I don't know. Like, is there some kind of weird thing where you're not supposed to suppress a 762 by 39? That I don't know. I wouldn't imagine. I can't imagine there would be. I've seen videos of people shooting suppressed AKs, and it looks badass. So yeah, go for it. Does chewing tobacco help with accuracy? I think it does. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. Probably. Well, here's the thing. I mean, nicotine is a stimulant. So sometimes I have a cigar while I'm shooting as well, and it does heighten alertness, I feel. So maybe it does help with accuracy, or maybe it makes you jittery and then it makes you less accurate. I don't know. Do I have any Dracos? I do not. Do I have a 10 millimeter? I do not, but I want one. I'm thinking about getting a Glock 40. Super versus sub effectiveness. I don't know what you mean by that. We're at 65 likes. The last live stream we went over 100. I intend on beating 100 again today. I need y'all's help to pull that off, obviously. So if you can, if you're not driving or something, just click that like button. That'd be helpful. You got an M15. What the hell is an M15? You guys are making stuff up. There's no way there's this many guns I don't know about. No, I'm kidding. I know what I know, and there's a lot that I don't know. But no, I don't know what an M15 is. I don't have a 50 cal. Do I have a double barrel shotgun? Yes, I do. Of course I do. Over unders. I've got 3 of them right here. Check it. We've got 2 Benelli 828Us, 20 gauge and 12 gauge, and then in the corner over there is a Beretta Silver Pigeon 1, which interestingly I have never fired. I've had that shotgun I think for 8, maybe 9 years. Never shot it. That might be a shotgun that I get rid of soon. I've got a couple of friends who are interested in it, so I think that shotgun is gonna end up in one of their homes sometime soon. I don't have a Smith & Wesson M&P AR. I was never impressed by those, but the last time I looked at them was probably 6 or 7 years ago. If they've upped their game since then, I don't know. So I don't want to speak badly about them now. I'll just say that the last time I looked at the M&P ARs, I wasn't impressed. Thank you for everybody who clicked like. I see the likes going up. We're at 71. We're close to 100. We'll get there. I don't have a SCAR. However, I do, and I don't have a Desert Eagle. However, I am interested in a SCAR 17. Geez, what is going on with my throat today? I am interested in a SCAR 17 because I do want an AR-10 or an AR-10 equivalent. So that's something that I've been looking into. If it weren't for the fact that they had proprietary mags, I would have already bought a SCAR 17. If they just made them to take PMags, I would have already had a SCAR 17. But that one factor might keep me from buying them, and I might go with a Wilson Combat AR-10 instead. We'll see. What's the highest gun you ever paid for? So I guess you're asking what's my most expensive firearm. That would be either one of these 2 Wilson Combats here, right there. Boom. This one and that one. Those are about $4,500 a piece, and for a pistol, that's quite a price. Drink some water. Helps when you do your lives. Yeah, no kidding, huh? That's good advice. Where's my water? I need some waters. Um, Desert Armory and more. I guess you have a gun channel, huh? Another gun tuber in my chat. Hello. I'm gonna have to check out your channel after this. So, Nathaniel, fix your microphone. What's wrong with my microphone? I really would love any tips on my audio because it's been a struggle from day one. Can't get my audio right. AK-47, Desert Armory. Cheers, man. I'll check out your channel after this. I'm a little muffled. Okay, so let's try this. I'm going to see if I can adjust the settings right now while I'm live because that is annoying. And let me see here. No, that's not it. I don't know why. I mean, this microphone is supposed to be the best, and it's just been like getting the settings right on it has been a pain, but I think I know what's causing it. If I sound muffled, I'm gonna try to fix it right now. I should be able to. Let me see. It's the right there. I think I got it. Let me know if this makes me sound a little bit better. Do I sound better now? I just adjusted the gain on the transmitter a little bit, so that should make me sound better. I don't have an Uzi. Dang, I'm missing a lot of comments. Let me get to the comments. Does this do I sound better? People who were telling me that I sound muffled, is this a little bit better now? I hope so. Let me know. If not, I can try to adjust it again. Sounds fine. Before was good too. Well, hey, I guess, you know what? Maybe those people need to get their ears cleaned. Maybe my microphone isn't the problem. Maybe your earwax is the problem. Do I have a bolt action sniper? Yeah, I have a couple of them right here, which I've never shot, but I want to shoot them soon. 6.5 Creedmoor and a 300 Win Mag. Benelli Lupo Best. Got a great deal on those. So yeah. Am I trans? I am. Yeah, I was born this really pretty girl, and then I just started eating a lot of cereal, and I grew a thick beard. I got these massive biceps, and so yeah, it just happened. I didn't mean to, but I just I ate a lot of cereal, and then my gender changed. This dude is definitely AI. I guess I'm too handsome to be human, right? You got to be AI. What do I do for work? I'm a YouTuber. What do you mean? What do I do for work? Geez, I'm a famous YouTuber with over almost 80,000 subscribers. No, I'm kidding. YouTube is one of the things that I do. It is a pursuit that I think could become a primary occupation at some point. It requires substantial growth, obviously, but I do work in sales, medical services, medical stuff, pharmaceuticals. So that's my primary source of income, I guess you could say. I'm about to get my realtor's license. I just finished the coursework. I got to go take the final exam. Although that's going to be more of a personal thing, like friends and family. I'm not going to be working full time as a realtor. And I invest in the stock market. I don't know. I tinker. I'm a Renaissance man. I do this. I do that. Me and my dad go hunting a lot. I envy that. I think that's I see. I think that's a really really nice thing if you have that family member, dad, uncle, older brother, whatever it is that you go hunting with. I've never had that, so that looks nice. I envy that. I know people who go hunting with their 4 or 5 sons, and it looks like a great time. Bro, you're AI. A corporation owns YouTube rights because you're not real. You're right. Okay, next. Aside from people who think I'm AI, what else do we have going on here? Did I consider a bow arrow gun a good factor for self-defense? Let me try to decipher that. Do I consider a bow arrow? You mean like a what are those called? Um, I mean, I have a bow. I have a compound bow, but you're talking about those like rifle-shaped compound bows. Gosh, I can't think of what they're called right now. So I think, I mean, for self-defense, like, yeah, what do you? Compound bows are slow. I think a recurve bow is better for self-defense. Of course, you have to be very, very good at it. It's a tremendous skill, and it would take years to become so good that you feel confident in a self-defense situation with a recurve bow. In a zombie situation, that would be good, but if you're dealing with other humans who have firearms, your bow is going to come up short. Do I have a drum magazine? I do not. Do I sell weapons? I do not. Crossbow, thank you. Why couldn't I think of crossbow? Yes. Where are you from? I'm from Lebanon, born and raised in Dubai. Spent a little over half my life in Texas at this point. You look like, I don't know what that is. I-N? I don't know. I'm from Brazil and I am very sad because the guns is not allowed to do. Yeah, yeah, I get that a lot actually from people in Brazil. I get a lot of comments on my shorts too when I do shorts unboxing thousands of rounds of ammunition. Like I've done several shorts where I open up 10,000 rounds of 9mm or 10,000 rounds of 223. And there's a lot of people from Brazil and where else? India comes up a lot. Pakistan comes up a lot, where they say, you know, they'd like the ability to purchase guns like that for self-defense, but they can't. It's unfortunate. I evacuated American citizens from Lebanon in 2006 when I was in the Marines. I remember that. I had just moved to the States, actually. I came to the States in 2005. I remember when that whole thing happened in 2006, and thank you for doing that. Um, you know, I hope you have yeah, you had a good experience in Lebanon, but if that was your only trip there, then probably not. Do I have an M4A1 carbine? I do not. What all fans do you have? What all fans do I have? 5,000 rounds for a deer or a horse break. It means you need to take some target practice. I don't know what you're talking about. Do I play Call of Duty? I do not. I do not play any video games. I don't have time for video games. I'm interested. I'm always interested. Just like I'm always interested in doing jigsaw puzzles, but I don't buy those damn things either because I'm going to spend hours doing the puzzle and then I'm not going to be any richer, healthier, stronger, or better looking by the time I'm finished. So I just avoid it. That's the same reason I avoid video games. Unless I find a way to monetize video games, I don't see myself ever getting back into video games. The last time I played a video game was SOCOM US Navy SEALs on a PS2. I had that thin PS2 when that came out. So that was about 15 years ago, I think. 15 or 16 years ago was the last time I played a video game. In my early teens, I was big into Counter-Strike. That was a big thing, and I missed that game. You know, sometimes I think maybe I'll get a computer just to play a little bit of Counter Strike every once in a while. But I also bought a piano a few like 3 years ago because I really want to learn how to play piano, and I've touched it maybe 5 times in 3 years. I just don't have the time. As much as I would like to do these things, my schedule is packed, and I have to be very careful and selective with how I allocate my limited budget of time. They don't even make SOCOM games anymore yet. Well, see, yeah, I wouldn't know. I'm just telling you, that's the last game I played. After you talk about all your guns, do you just start over again? Sometimes, yeah. Because the thing is, like, this live stream has been going on for over an hour. So there are people that tuned in an hour ago and they asked me, what's your favorite gun? Do you have an AK? What shotgun do you recommend? And those people are probably off the live stream now. And now we got new people tuning in and they're asking those questions. So there is redundancy in live streams. It's just the way it goes. Most people are not watching the entire live stream start to finish. So, but if you are tuning in right now, welcome to the channel. We are going to break 8,000 live viewers today. I'm sure of it. If we haven't already, I can't see those metrics until I hang up, unless I go grab my laptop over there and take a look. But give the video a like. We're at 81 likes. Last time we beat 100. I think we could do that again today. And thank you for everybody who's doing that. What's the best bolt action rifle? I just watched a video by, ooh, what's the channel? Big Gun Tuber. Ah, my goodness. They were comparing sniper rifles, low end to high end, and of course Barrett is a great brand. You know, you can't go wrong with that one. Surgeons is another incredible brand. Christensen over the years, you know, 7 or 8 years ago, I would have said Christensen is something to consider, but I've heard mixed reviews, not from personal experience, but people that I know and whose opinions I value have given me some mixed reviews about Christensen, so I'm a little hesitant to buy those now. If you want a budget bolt action, Bergara is a great brand. You might want to look into that. But if money is no object, go for a Barrett or a Surgeons. You're going to be happy. Do I have any compounds? I have one. Okay, real quick. Do I have a Draco? I do not. Am I a veteran? I am not. I am way too recalcitrant to have joined the military. I don't do well at taking orders. This is a, let's see, my Hoyt Hyperforce. You know, I can grab my bow. Bows are okay in live streams, just not guns. So here's my Hoyt Hyperforce. That makes things easier. I can't grab guns, but bows hopefully are not a problem. Please, YouTube, don't cancel my live stream. We're about to set an all-time record. So yeah, Hoyt Hyperforce, I believe this is set at just over 60 pounds. I think it's a 60 to 70. Where's the thing that tells you the specs? That tells you how much I shoot this thing. I don't even, oh, there we go. Yeah, 60 to 70. So I have it set, I think at like 62 pounds or something like that. I would love to go hunting with this bow soon in the near future. I would absolutely love that. But I need to get a lot more practice. And these are 5mm Axis arrows. Are these carbon fiber? I don't remember. Anyway, yeah, this needs to put some food in my freezer. Hopefully sooner than later. Hunting is so difficult, just like in terms of access, you know, especially if you live in Texas and you don't have a ranch or know somebody that has a ranch, your chances of hunting are pretty shitty unless you want to pay like 10 grand to go hunt a deer on a private ranch with a high fence, which is, I'm just not into that. Let me just hang up my bow and I'll be right back. There we go. Okay, back to the live stream. 83 likes. We're going to get to 100 before I hang up for sure. Bro, you holding that thing gives me anxiety. Why? You get anxiety from me holding a bow? Come on now. What's my highest caliber? 300 Win Mag. Let me grab a box of that ammo. I'll be right back. 300 Win Mag. That's a big ass round. Here we go. So we got 308. We got 6.5. Where's my 6.5? That's all 308. Oh, here's my 6.5. And then, all right, here we go. I'm back. I just grabbed some ammo. So we've got 6.5. This is a box of 200 rounds of 6.5 in here. So there's 6.5, okay? And then 308 is not much different in size than a 6.5. Ouch. So here's a 308 and a 6.5. I mean, they're basically the same size in terms of length, or would that be considered height? I don't know. But you can see the bullet is different, right? But then 300 Win Mag is larger than both of them by a good amount. So here's 300 Win Mag. Yeah, look at that bad boy. That's considerably larger. That's a good round. I'm gonna go get me a buffalo with this. And actually that might happen sooner than later. I think I found somebody. They have hundreds of acres and they've got some buffalo running around. And I think they're gonna let me go get a buffalo for a price, of course. But I might make that happen. A real man doesn't need a semi-automatic for wild game or deer. You're right. You know what? I'm gonna go on my buffalo hunt with this. I'm gonna try to get a moose or a buffalo. I'm gonna run behind it and I want to just, you know, just in the back of the head, I'm gonna take out a moose with this. That's what I'm gonna try to do because I'm a real man. Is the tip dipped in poisonous frog blood? It's absolutely not. I like hollow points for 19s. Do I like Tikka? You know, Tikka makes a good rifle. Yeah. Wow, I haven't heard anybody mention Tikka in a while, but they make a good rifle. They're owned by, let me see, who owns Tikka? It's not, is it Benelli? Seiko. Seiko owns Tikka, don't they? And Seiko makes a pretty good rifle. Forgot about that too. Last I checked, I'm pretty sure, somebody might want to fact check me, but I'm pretty sure Seiko owns Tikka. I don't like Tikka because it sounds like Indian chicken, you know? And it's like, I like chicken tikka, but I don't want a rifle that sounds like Indian chicken. That's my only thing. Eddie Spaghetti, thank you. He called me a stud. Staccato is way overrated. Maybe nowadays, but when STI first became Staccato, Staccato was the truth. I mean, you know, Staccato was, I mean, I have a Staccato P from right after that transition, and that Staccato is phenomenal. Every time I shoot that gun, I'm impressed. Where the cheap weapons at somebody else's house, probably, or at Sports Academy. Not here, except, well, I mean, you know, cheap weapons, like I have Glocks, you know, not everything is on my wall is premium. Those are my cheap weapons. That's it. Everything else is good stuff. I mean, there's a 1022 right above me, that wooden one right there. That's not an expensive gun. Do I enjoy the HK VP9? I'm really not an HK guy in general. I'm trying to think, have I ever shot a VP9? No, I do like the grip on those. I don't think I've ever shot one though, but I do like the grip on the VP9. And if I was gonna get an HK pistol, that would probably be the top candidate. Definitely not that piece of trash. What is it? The sub P2000? Is that what it's called? That the Border Patrol used to carry for a while in 40 caliber. It's like they just didn't want the officers to be able to hit their target. I mean, it's that gun was just complete and utter garbage. And it's amazing that the government chose that gun for law enforcement. It's like, I don't know what to make of that. Those guns should be in the trash. They should just get recycled, destroyed, melt them, and make better guns. Do I have a Dixon Mias? What on earth is that? I have no idea. That art is worth so much less. Okay, what are we talking about here, guys? You're losing me. You trade your caddy for anything on the wall. You have a you got a Cadillac? That's cool. What kind of Cadillac? I just bought a Corvette. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I took it out yesterday. I hit 141 miles per hour. I really wanted to break 150, but you know, you got to be a little bit careful. I wasn't on a racetrack. That's all I'm going to say. So 141 was already risky enough, and I don't want to end up in jail for driving way above the speed limit. Favorite pistol? Thoughts on Springfield XDS? Not bad. I prefer a Glock 48 to a Springfield XDS. Favorite pistol? I think you know, if we're gonna look at 1911s, it would be this 1911 Wilson X-Tac Elite right here, that one up top. Love that gun. The STI DVC Limited, the one with the golden barrel. Gosh, that thing is incredible too. It's really hard to pick a favorite. You know, there's just so much good stuff out there that to narrow it down to one favorite is really difficult. Would you rather be stranded on an island with an axe or a machete? Let me think about that one. Axe. Yeah, I think axe. Is that a stack of $2 bills? Yeah, it is. Good catch. Yeah, these are brand new $2 bills. 2 stacks. So this is, you know, because look, you got to be a gentleman when you go to a strip club. You can't tip with ones. That's just, you know, you got to tip with twos. That way you're a gentleman. Not that I go to strip clubs, but if I did, I would take these with me. I'm saving these for a future bachelor party of a friend or something. So yeah, I just like those. Do I like Kimber? Kimber, you know, years ago I had a stainless Raptor 5-inch and a stainless Raptor 4-inch, and I love those guns. I used to carry that 4-inch Raptor actually, but I was working at a gun store. We were a Kimber dealer. I sold loads of Kimbers, and then the rep got on my nerves. Frankly, he just pissed me off. The customer service was shit, so I got rid of my Kimbers. I stopped selling them. I stopped recommending them to customers, and I haven't recommended them since. Now, also, they were having issues with quality control, like big time. Even with the custom shop, there was a lot of malfunctions. Now, I've heard that with the new 2011 they came out with, whatever the hell it's called, I forgot. I've heard that thing is a banger. That gun is badass. The price point, though, if I'm going to spend that much money, I'm not going to buy a Kimber. It's like, you know, they're selling you beer at champagne prices. I don't know how I feel about that one. Performance-wise, I've heard it's excellent. Does the price justify it? I don't know. You'd have to decide that one for yourself. Do you have a Hellcat or a Hellcat Pro? They're all kind of, no. The only Hellcat I want is a car, not a gun. And I might get one next year. I just bought a Corvette Z06. So my car money is a little bit tapped for the moment. But I think next year I'm going to look for a Hellcat stick shift wide body. It's got to be the Scat Pack. I don't know if they all have the wide, you know, the wide body. I'm not sure, but I want a stick shift Hellcat wide body. What color is the Vet? Guessing yellow. No, it's called Red Mist with bronze rims. There's a couple of shorts on my channel. I haven't posted much on it yet. I barely got it a few weeks ago. And I've been traveling and I haven't had time. But you can find videos of it on. You can find a couple of shorts on my channel, and I'll be posting more. I'm going to do a full Man Stuff review of the Vet soon. And actually, the thumbnail, the cover for this live stream, that's my vet in the cover photo. So you can look at it there. But stay tuned. I'm gonna do a full video review. It's gonna take some time. It probably won't be until like around Christmas time because I've got to build up the content for that video slowly. I need to find a track where I can go out and I can do launch mode, 0 to 60 in 2.6, 2.7 seconds, and just go over all the features. It's got a red engine that matches the color of the body. It's got the black tips and the bronze spiders. It's a phenomenal vehicle, and I'm having tons of fun driving it. It's really just a super, super sexy car. And it is a supercar. It's my first supercar. I'm having a great time with it. We are at 88 likes. We've got 43 people watching. So if 25% of the people watching right now click like, we'll reach our goal of 100. Damn, knew I should have said red. Just didn't expect it to be red. Yeah, well, so there's that bright red, like that ugly lipstick red, and I wouldn't want that kind of red, but this is called red mist. It's about $1,000 upgrade for that color, and it's really nice. I love the color. I've never really been into red cars either, but this particular shade of red I really liked, especially with the bronze rims and the black tips. The car is incredibly sexy. So yeah, more to come on the vet. I want to branch out a little bit from guns and cigars. I intend on doing a review of my Man Stuff gym. I have my gym, and I'm gonna go through, show you what equipment I have in there, and then I want to do a review of the Corvette. Go through some of my watches, a couple of Rollies back there, do reviews of those, tell you what I like about them, and what models I'm interested in. So I just basically, the point is I want to branch the channel out from just guns and cigars to include more manly things. Like maybe next time I smoke a brisket, I just made a phenomenal brisket a couple of days ago. Next time I smoke a brisket, I'll show you all my process for how to make an amazing brisket. So we're going to branch the channel out. If you have recommendations for videos, send me those. You can go to my website, jamilbarbar.com. There's a form where you can submit video recommendations or ideas, products you want me to review, whatever. You can do all that there, and I take all that into consideration. Do I take creatine or TRT? I'm not on TRT. Actually, my testosterone is super high. It's just Lebanese genetics. I'm a thoroughbred Lebanese. So no, but I do use creatine intermittently. I'm not very disciplined with it. And from everything I've seen, if you don't use it daily, then you're kind of not really getting much benefit. So I probably should just stop using it altogether. But sometimes I'm consistent. I'll be consistent for like a couple of weeks and then I'll drop off for a few days. So I do use some creatine, but that's it. I don't really use protein powder much anymore either. It's like every now and then, if I don't have time to eat, I'll use some protein powder for that reason. But that's about it. For the most part, for the most part, I just eat a bunch of eggs and meat. كم سعر بندقية what's that last word? كم سعر بندقية زويجة? Boy, Arabic is my first language, but I can't figure out that last word. كم سعر بندقية, that means how much is the price of the rifle, but I don't know what that last word is. So I'm gonna need an explanation there before I can answer that. Definitely need to see. Never liked bronze rims. They look like they're dirty in wrong light. Yeah, so you know what? They need to be maintained. Actually, now that I've driven it a few hundred miles, I can already see the brake dust collecting on the rims. They don't look that good anymore. So I need to find a detailing service that'll come over and detail the car for me. But that's just how it is when you're buying luxury goods. They do require more care. Like my truck, I just run it through the car wash. I have a membership with the unlimited car washes, and it's like anytime a bird shits on it or I go shooting and it gets dusty or whatever, I just run it through the car wash, no problem. But the vet, you can't run it through the car wash, so it needs a higher level of care, which means I'm gonna have to find a detail service that'll come out to my house. I don't know, once a month or 2 months, depending on how much I drive it and how dirty it gets, and just have them detail the car to keep it looking good. What else we got? Let's get to 100 likes and then we'll wrap it up. We're coming up on an hour and a half here. We're at 89 likes. We need 11 more and we're there. And actually, as soon as I hang up, I've got a video review of the Litton 35-liter humidor, which I'm going to post. I went to the cigar shop the other day. I was planning on buying a couple boxes of cigars. I left with 13 boxes of cigars. And then you know, but part of the reason I did that is because Zyfe had sent me their Lytton 35-liter humidor. And so I knew I was going to have a place to store them. And then I thought, well, hey, I'm going to do a video review of this humidor. Let me just buy a bunch of cigars so I can really load it up and make it look good. So that's what I did. Thank you for the people clicking like. I see the numbers going up. We're almost going to hit our goal of 100. Is it a hard top or a soft top? They're asking about my Corvette. It's a hard top. I thought about doing the convertible, and then I had a friend of mine tell me, he talked me out of it. He said, you know what? The hard top is super easy to remove, and you get to store it in the back, which he's right. It literally takes 10 seconds for me to remove it and put it in the back. And it looks better when it's covered. So I went with the hard top. Cigar salesman grinning ear to ear when he sees you coming. Yeah, well, you know, the folks at the Tobacco Tin, there's a shop in El Paso called the Tobacco Tin. That's where I buy my cigars. And I've got a great relationship with those guys. They take good care of me. I take care of them. I do my best to send them customers, and they always hook me up. They give me great prices. They hook me up with great products. They gave me a box of, well, they didn't give it to me, but they gave me a good deal on a box of the Davidoff Year of the Horse limited series they just released. There is a short on my channel of that box, and I'm going to do a review of it here soon, probably this weekend. It's a beautiful box. And so they always take good care of me. They have a great selection, great prices. If you're in El Paso and you want cigars, go to the Tobacco Tin. Talk to Gary. If he's there, he'll take good care of you. Anybody will take care of you, but Gary's the man. 100% the hard top is way cleaner than the soft top. Yeah. Yeah, as soon as my friend mentioned that, I was like, okay, I'm not getting the convertible. I'm gonna go with a hard top. So, and you know, most of the time you drive it covered anyway. I mean, it just depends. I got a nice tan on my face the first week I got my vet because I was driving it with the top down, and I got a nice little redness going on my face. Let's see, what have I missed? All right, we are closing in on 100 likes, and we're gonna wrap this up here soon, just as soon as we break 100, because we can't not break 100 likes. I mean, the last video did, I think, like 104, the last live stream. So we can't just do that. Why did you end up in El Paso of all places after leaving Dubai? Well, I was 13, 14, so I didn't have any say in it. This is where my family moved to, and I was brought along because I was a kid. So that's what happened. And then, you know, there's a thing about El Paso you realize is it's a shit place to visit, but it's a good place to live. One big thing for me is I don't like crowded cities and I don't like heavy traffic. So Dubai has both of those things, which is a problem. Dubai is the opposite, where I feel like it's a great place to visit. I can't wait for this trip I've got coming up. I'm going to have a great time over there. I'm going to be there for 6-7 days, and then I can walk away from that chaos and humidity and pollution and density and traffic and come back to my quiet, chill city of El Paso. People think Dubai is like heaven. Life can be good in many places on earth other than Dubai. Yeah, that's true. I mean, look, the nice thing about Dubai is that it's clean. There's no crime. It's so safe, and it's a good place to raise a family. I think if you're into that big city life. I'm just not. Like, I've never been to New York, never been to LA. I hear stories about people spending an hour and a half to go a mile in traffic, and that deters me. That's not for me. So I'm going to wrap up this live stream in 6 minutes. At an hour and a half, I'm going to wrap this up. It'd be awesome if we break 100 likes. We just need 7 more to get to 100. We've got 40 people watching. So maybe some of you have already clicked like. Thank you for that. But if not, keep the questions coming for another 5-6 minutes, and give the video some thumbs up. I don't know what Acid Blondes is. Oh, are you talking about those cigars? No, so there's the Acid, the green one. I don't like flavored cigars. Infused is one thing. Flavored, I don't like. So Acid, I'm not about that brand. I just, I find them gross. Actually, I don't like any flavored cigars. The fruity ones, not my thing. 1 like a minute. Yeah, no kidding, huh? We're moving at snail speed. What guns do I have? Let's see. Let's go through the guns. We've got some Benelli shotguns over there, as well as a Beretta over under, Silver Pigeon 1. Got Daniel Defense Pros. At the top is a Ruger 1022, Springfield Saint. Over here, we've got some 1911s, Wilson Combat 1911s, 2011 STI and Staccato. Geisley Super Duty, Daniel Defense, Smith & Wesson M&P 15. We got some Benelli rifles over there in different calibers, 308, 6.5, and 300 Win Mag. I think that, wow, that was really fast. I just went through everything on the wall pretty quickly. There's not as many as there was a few weeks ago. Like I said, I sold a bunch of guns. So yeah, there's fewer now, but that's okay. I'm gonna get rid of a few more and then I'm gonna buy a couple more. I don't have an STG 44. I do not. I don't even know what that is. So does the Rolex defend the guns, or are the guns there to defend the Rolex? That's pretty funny. You know, they just look cool. I like the way they look on that shelf. It's part of the whole manly vibe, you know, the guns and the watches and all that. Maybe I should get a cigar mount for the wall as well. And then, of course, I've got my rooster necklace here. Every time I go out in public and I'm wearing this thing, people want to buy it off me. I'm like, yo, leave my rooster alone. But it is an incredible necklace, so I understand. You know, yeah. His name's Pecker. I love this necklace. Yeah, people always like literally. Especially at poker games. Anytime I'm at a poker game, people want to buy it off me. And yeah, it's a pretty cool necklace. But anyway, not for sale. I'm keeping Pecker. Let's see. So I don't know what that means. What kind of Arabic are you speaking in? I don't know. You know what? Let's just wrap this thing up. I've got to go post a video actually of that humidor, the Litton. I was talking about that a second ago, and then I drifted into something else. So hi, Hawari Hero. Hello. I got to go post that. So it's already uploaded onto my channel. It's just waiting to clear the checks for the community guidelines and the copyright and all that. Sometimes it's quick, sometimes it takes a few hours. So I think by the time I'm done with this live stream, it should be ready to post, and then we can get that video review up on the channel. I'm making that push for 100 videos. I don't know, it's gonna take me probably like 6 months. 100 videos is a lot. Shorts and live streams, that's different. But the channel is at 22 videos right now. I've got a long way to go to 100. If I can get to 40 by the end of the year, that'd be cool, which means 18 more videos in the next month. That's gonna be a lot of work. I'm gonna be busy as hell. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. It doesn't look like we're gonna hit 100 likes today. That's okay, we can't do it every time, but it'd be cool if we did, but we're not gonna. So, all right, I'm out of here. Red Dragon Reborn, you are right. It is about quality, not quantity. But you know, it's like Mr. Beast says, post your first 100 videos, improve something every time, and then we'll talk after 100 videos about how to get your channel to grow if you're still struggling. But so that's been in my mind from day one of starting this channel. Get to 100 videos, improve something every time, and then we'll see how I'm doing once I get to that 100 video mark. So, all right, see you later, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the weekend. I'll catch you all at the next